we have another arithmetic question, but then it's related to averages. The question says there are 52 positive integers, so they're mentioning that these are positive integers, such that you have this sequence mentioned. So you have A1, A2, A3 up to A52 in increasing order. So there's a continuously increasing one. Don't take an assumption that this is a series or something, but they're definitely continuously increasing, right? So A1 to A2 you increase, A2 to A3 you increase, and so on. Now, there's another relationship that's given, which says that the arithmetic mean of all these numbers, there is all these for 52, is one less than the arithmetic mean of A2 to A52. So if I consider the last 51 numbers, or just excluding the first number, the remaining 51 numbers, arithmetic mean is one more than the arithmetic mean of the entire set. And A52 is mentioned to us. We are looking for the largest possible value of A1. Now, if you're not aware of deviation techniques, which I call offsets and all, so if you're not aware of the offset technique, so in that case, you might be tending towards starting like this: A1 plus A2 plus A3 up to A52 divided by 52 is equal to A2 to A2 plus A3 plus up to A52 upon 51, because there are 51 numbers here, minus 1. So this is a correct relation. I mean, you can start with this, but then again, this becomes a little, I mean, this step itself, you have to write down, you have to carefully writing it down, cross multiplying and stuff, cancellations. I mean, this itself will take some time to do in the initial part of the resolution. Uh, Instead of that, the offset technique is very, very useful in these kind of questions. I mean, everything allegation and everything, every shortcut that you find in averages are developed out of the the offset technique, the deviation technique. So let me show you that alternative method. So this is the idea that we have. So there are 52 numbers, which has an average of A. So that is this part. And out of which there are 51 of them. So A2 to A52, those are the 52 numbers, 51 numbers I'm talking about. So those 51 numbers has an average of A plus 1, right? The arithmetic mean is one less for the entire set. So the arithmetic mean of this 51 numbers is one more than the arithmetic mean of the entire set, right? And we are looking for what is this first value? What is this A1 here? So this 52, 1 and this 1 is indicating the number of values that we have. So let us work with the offset. So out here, the deviation, if you check, I mean, from A to A plus 1. So this deviation is plus 1, right? So this deviation of plus 1 is going to work for 51 numbers. So effectively what we have, the net deviation on this side is plus 1 into 51, which is plus 51. So this is something we can determine very quickly. So plus 51 is the net deviation on this side. And because the total deviation has to be 0, that is the idea that we use in these kind of questions. So the total deviation from the average of the entire set is always 0. So because this is plus 51, so this should be minus 51. So if the deviation is minus 51, and we are calculating the deviation, of course, from the net average always. So from the net average, the deviation is minus 51. But because this is just a single number, we just have a single number in this case. So we can say that this number will be A minus 51. So that is our focus, right? So we have to try and maximize this value. So we're looking for the largest possible value of A1, right? So we are tending to maximize this particular value, A minus 51. So let us try to understand that. I mean, it should be pretty obvious now that if I have to maximize A minus 51, I have to actually maximize A, right? Uh, that is how it goes. I mean, A minus 51, minus 51 is a constant value. So if I maximize A, my A minus 51 automatically maximizes. So how to maximize A? Now, out of the given, constraint that we have, let me put it in that manner. This A2 to A52, just focus on this part. So A2 to A52, that is also increasing, right? I mean, none of the values can be equal. and the limitation is that A52 is equal to 100. So A52 is equal to 100, and we are increasing from A2 to A52. So if I consider these 52 numbers, let's say in sequence, I'm not writing all of them. Uh, let's say this is the middle term. If I try to maximize the average, I'll keep these numbers first of all as close to each other as possible, right? Now I'll consider this to an AP series. The logic is that I'm trying to maximize the average of these numbers. So if I'm trying to maximize the numbers, I'll keep them close to each other. Now, because they are positive integers that is mentioned to us, so we cannot, make them equal, or we cannot make them decimals, right? One constraint is they have to be in increasing order. The other is that they have to be positive integers. So all we can do is get the values as close to each other in terms, we are putting consecutive numbers. So if I put in consecutive numbers, one thing that is known to us, so let's say this is the 52nd term. So this is A52. This is 100, right? And this first term is A2 here. So we have a total of 51 terms in this. And out of 51 terms, the middle term will be the 26th term, right? So that will be actually A27. So starting from A2, that is. So we are looking for the maximum value of A27. So if I consider AP series, then the middle term has to be the average. I think all of you should be aware of it. And consecutive numbers are nothing but AP. So from A52 to A27, we are dropping this by 25 terms, right? So for essentially, this will also drop by 25. So this becomes 75. So the maximum average that we can have of these 51 terms is essentially 75. So this A plus 1 becomes 75. The A becomes 74. And automatically the A plus 51 becomes 74 minus 51, which is 23 as the answer. So option D is the answer here. So all you have to do is just try to visualize this problem in this way. Even if you work with the variables, the initial part that I talked about, this bit of analysis will be required even in that case, because without this analysis, any which way, you have no way to solve this. So that is it for this question. I would say somewhere in the range of 1 to 1.5 minutes will be required for this question to be solved. You can either solve it in round 1 or in round 2. I might have done this in round 2 because I know there's a bit of analysis to it. I would target those questions in the first scan, which I can target immediately, or I can solve it immediately in less than a minute, or maybe with less amount of calculation, even it crosses a minute mark. This one, while I'm reading for the first time, not sure how much analysis is required. So it's better you mark it for review and then move along. When you've finished the first scan, then you come back to this and solve it. So I would prefer to do it in round 2. You may solve it in round 1. That is up to you. Depends on your comfortability. So that's it for this question. Hope you understood it, and I understood this idea of offset. In our classes, we have discussed averages in this way only. You can just watch some videos if you're not enrolled, in our YouTube channel and everything. So that's it for this particular question. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.